Hello duelists, Russ here, and following Yuga and Luke's decks on Wednesday, today we are going to be opening the Saikyo battle decks for Gato and Romin. But very first, let's see what legends we managed to get. Just to recap, we currently have one Sakuretsu armor and one Millennium Shield, so here's hoping that we get some different ones in these two decks. Starting with Gato. These decks are pretty compact, so it can be pretty difficult to get the decks out from the packaging. Alright, and now for Gato, our legend promo is another copy of Sakuretsu armor, so we have doubled up already on 2 copies of Sakuretsu. Hopefully the same won't happen for Romin's Psychic Beat. Let's see what we get here. Okay, and for Romin, our legend promo at the front of the deck is going to be nice Holy Elf or Mystical Elf in the, well, English version of the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, and this is pretty intense, a level 4 with 2000 defense, far outclassing all the other no tribute defenders that are currently in the Rush Duel game. Alright, now that we have our legends revealed, let's check out Gato's Fiendish Commander 3 Legions. First, of course, we will have to add our second copy of the legend Sakuretsu armor to the stack. And now, we are starting off with Yame Ruler, of course, staple for any Gato deck, followed by Kime Ruler. Sorry about my camera today, I'm trying to keep the focus there. And Seme Ruler as well, so I guess these are the 3 Fiendish commanders that basically form the backbone of this deck. We also have a Gaia the Fierce Knight, very nice as a level 7 card. I believe he was only previously available as a promo from Shonen Jump, so it is really nice to get him as a reprint here because I don't have his Rush Duel version just yet. Okay, next we have Tranquil Unknown Soldier. And next, a trio, I believe, of the Fiendish commander squads. This first one, his name is Matsugumi, I think he is the new one, whereas the other 2 we have already seen as well, yes, Takegumi I believe, and finally one of the earlier ones, what was his name again? Umegumi, alright, so we'll just put the 3 of them over there. Okay, these are the level 6 monsters. I feel like they're kind of like the vice captains for each Fiendish commander squad. Yes, this balanced attack and defense Tengu, I remember him from very early in the game as well. And of course, this Sage Dude, Nandes, a very useful level 4 in the Gakuto deck that allows you to change the battle positions of your monsters, going very well with the ruler's effects. Come on camera, please focus for me, why are you drifting all over the place? And of course, having 3 copies of that in a single deck is pretty intense. Forbidding Warrior, 3 copies of him. Yes, from here I think it's just going to be mainly low level reprint territory. Yes, Saint's Bird, 1 copy of that, the legendary Masaki. This new level 4 that has basically the same stats. I think this is a new card and he fuses with Masaki into a fusion monster that will be released in the upcoming fusion booster. Here we have the Onmyo Warrior Sakakaze. I think this is a pretty recent card, just 1 copy of him. Mudorina, the Enshrined Deity. 1 copy, 2 copies of Soul of Death Reversal. Here we have 1 Moki Moki, the turtle with 1400 defense, 3 copies of that, and another 3 copies of another level 1 monster with 0 attack and 1400 defense. Yes, the Rabbit of the Moonlit Tears, and I think this will just basically be the bulk of the monsters forming this deck. We need a low level monsters. And then moving into the territory of the spells and traps, basically the bandages, the chestnuts, this chestnut card, blocking, block attack, block defense, which is new as well. Great piercing, more bandage, this time it's the bandage guild. This one I think should be new, and then this is just old stuff that we have seen already. As for these 2, yes, I remember 1 up from one of the very first boosters, and this Fiendish Commander Dance should be a brand new trap. So that'll be all for the cards in this Gato's Fiendish Commander 3 Legions. Now for the new cards, one very notable one is this new member of the Fiendish Commander squad, Matsugumi, and during the turn he is summoned, he basically has an effect that allows you to recycle one of the Fiendish Commander spell traps from your grave. I think there are currently 3 that exist now, and he basically allows you to recycle any 3 of those and then set it into your spell and trap zone. So that can be very useful for the deck because those Fiendish Commander spells and traps are really powerful. Okay, next, as I mentioned earlier, we have this new normal monster that will fuse with Masaki to create a new monster in the fusion deck. And then for the traps. So this here is Bowing Guild with a very interesting effect. When your opponent conducts their normal draw, you can pay 1000 life to turn up to 2 attack position monsters on your field to defense position. And after that, if you have 3 defense position monsters on your field, you can return 5 monsters in your opponent's grave back to their deck. So not only is this really good for like the flexible switching between attack and defense for the Gato deck, it can also stun the opponent from using powerful cards that require having a lot of monsters in their grave. So for example, you can just stun 7th Road Magician's power boost with this effect, and even stop Dark Liberation. Finally, here we have the new Fiendish Commander trap, Fiendish Commander Dance. When you're level 7 or higher warrior, well, basically the Fiendish commanders are destroyed by an opponent's attack or destroyed by the opponent's trap effect, you can special summon a Kime Ruler, Seme Ruler, or Yame Ruler from your grave in face-up defense. What can I say? This is just strong. So far, I think out of all of the Saikyo battle decks, Gato's is probably my favorite, well, partly because I really like the playstyle, but I feel like it is really nicely built and has a lot of potential to grow with the support from the boosters as well. Okay, next let's move into Romin's Psychic Beat. Starting off by placing down our Mystical Elf, and next we have Prima Gitarna as a common. I don't know about you guys, but I really like seeing these ace monsters like now being available at like literally common rarity. So, well, I mean, I guess it's been more than a year since Rush Duel started, but still this is pretty recent compared to how long it takes for certain ace monsters to become available as commons in the actual OCG. So we're starting with Prima Gitarna, and of course Esperade. So these are our 2 key aces here, followed by this new card, Giftarist. So this is a brand new additional level 7 design just for the strongest battle deck, I mean Saikyo battle deck. After that, Romic Kun Roller, yes, I always find it very hard to pronounce her name, 2 copies of that. And here we have Berry Cyst, I think, as our level 6. And Side Stage Bouncer, this is one of the stronger 1 tribute psychic monsters we've had since the beginning, 3 copies of that. And those are going to be all the high level monsters, it seems. Next, moving to level 4's Agent Telepath. 3 copies of Telepath. Then a Silent Assassin, of course, our level 4 attacker. Oh, only 1 of that. But wait a minute. She's made up for with Peace Holder, which has the same stat. So 2, technically. And then here we have a Muji Performer. 2 copies. Gonna be quite important because she forms a fusion in the fusion deck. Live Dress Creator. A bit mediocre stats-wise. This one should be a new card, Dream Rummer, so it's kind of like a pun on Dream and Drummer. And then Catchy Boardist, level 2, so goes well with that. The level 2 mechanics that the Psychic deck has. And Elangel, her name 2 copies, and Elekis, more level 2s, and of course Romance Pick, but of course there's only 1, right? Such a key card for the deck. Followed by Andal, 1 copy of her. Howling Bird, yes, the Defender should be 3 copies of that. And those are all the low-level monsters forming the foundation for this year's Psychic deck. Okay, spells and traps, as you guys can see, there's quite a lot of overlap with the others, like Kamikaze Attack, Climax Finale, Psycho Burial. I think this is a new card. It is pretty useful for the deck, blocking defense. Great Piercing, Lullabind, I remember this one, Psychic Introduction, of course, and yes, Psychic Trap Hole, another new card that is really good for the deck. These 2 should just be reprints, the Psycho Wall, and 2 block. So that'll be all for Psychic Beat. Okay, so first let's check out the new monsters. Well, first of all, Peace Holder is just a new 1500 beater for the Psychic deck, so now they have a bit more options there. And starting with Giftarist, I really like her effect. She's kind of like in a way the opposite of Prima Gitarna. Prima Gitarna increases your entire field's attack for each monster on the opponent's field, but Giftarist here increases her own attack for each other face-up psychic monster on the field, 400 for each, pumping her up to a potential 3,200, which is just gonna hurt. So I really like the potential of that. And here we have a Dream Rammer. She basically can return a monster in the opponent's grave back to the deck while also allowing you to heal some life points. And most importantly, she is also a level 2 monster, going well with the level 2 gimmicks that the deck has. Okay, now moving into the spells and traps. Sorry, I made a mistake earlier. Psycho Burial is not new. It's actually a reprint, but it was only available in the battle packs, which I have no access to, so that's why I've never seen it in physical before. Okay, the real new one here is really Psychic Trap Hole. When your opponent normal summons a level 5 or higher monster while you have 2 or more face-up psychic monsters on the field, activate this trap to destroy that summoned monster. So a bit, definitely more conditional than our classic Trap Hole, which is a legend card, of course, in the Rush Duel meta. But honestly, I don't think this is difficult to use at all. It is great, a perfect addition for a psychic deck. With that said, that'll be all for this opening video of Gato's Fiendish Commander 3 Legions and Romin's Psychic Beats. I will see you guys in the third and final video featuring the Saikyo battle decks of the 3 rivals.